Hi, I'm Doug Dormer, and this is the Abatement Information Masterclass, establishing the Criterion Standard for opioid settlement funding and avoiding the tobacco failure. This is a discussion with this introductory video followed by 5 lessons, each in the 5 to 10 minute range, so we try to make it as consumable as possible, that are designed for state administrators, county and municipal administrators, as well as community health clinics and service providers, to better understand both the opportunity and the risks associated with the opioid settlement agreement. In this first video, I want to give you the origin and mission, who we are, and why we established the Essentrify Academy. But first, let's give this some context, a quick look at some key information. For the most recent year, for which we have solid information, which is 2024, 79,000 people died from overdose. That's actually down slightly from a high in, I believe, 2022 of over 100,000 deaths. Then we have the Opioid Settlement Fund, money paid by companies that have benefited and promoted opioid-related products and contributed to the overall addiction climate in the United States. That fund is estimated to be slightly more than $57 billion. Now that's spread over a total of about 18 years in separate agreements, depending on which participant is involved, but it's going to be 15 to 18 years in total. Now I have to tell you, I struggle with what $57 billion means and just how big is that. It seems almost unimaginable to me. But then I look at a report from folks called Taylor and Francis, which estimates that the total cost to society of addiction during that same 15 to 18 year period, beginning from 2022 to about 2039, is $5.8 trillion. So compared to that number, then $57 billion seems like a modest amount to invest. Let's see what we can learn about the opioid settlement agreement in this context. Our syllabus includes this first video plus 5 lessons. Each one is about 5 to 10 minutes long. I'm not going to read these topics. You can pause and look at them, or we'll get to them one at a time. Now, today is Tuesday, April 7th, so we're releasing the first 2, Video 1 and Lesson 1, today. We will release Lessons 2 and 3 on Thursday, April 9th, and we'll release Lessons 4 and 5 on Monday, April 13th. Then on Thursday, April 16th, we'll have a capstone webinar, a chance when you can join us, you can talk with us. We'll tell you more about this program. Now, to be clear, we are vendors. We're getting there to explain how we came together, but we are vendors of technology and solutions designed specifically to meet this present need. But this series of videos is all about the underlying understanding, the situation, and some thoughts on the requirements. It is not a product pitch. So whether you want to look at our solutions or not, we hope you get value from understanding the fundamental elements and dynamics around the opioid settlement agreement. Let me introduce you to my team. From left to right, we have Dr. Daniel Chariot, who is the director of our evidence lab. Then we have Dr. Daniel Adepoju, our director of product architecture. I'm the fellow to our right, as you view the screen of the poster. Then we have Brian Williams, who is our manager of the community hub, the social part, the community aspect of our organization. And then finally we have Dr. George Adepoju, who is the director of public sector informatics. I'm honored to be working with each of these people. Our 3 doctors, Dr. Chariot, Dr. Daniel Adepoju, and Dr. George Adepoju, all come from Africa. Dr. Chariot attended medical school at the University of Nairobi. Dr. Daniel Adepoju and Dr. George Adepoju attended medical school in Europe. All 3 of them returned to their respective countries, Dr. Chariot in Kenya and Dr. Daniel Adepoju and George Adepoju to Nigeria after practicing for several years before coming to the United States to attend Indiana University in Indianapolis to earn their master's degree in health information technology in the Department of Biomedical Engineering and Computing. I've been affiliated with Indiana University, Indianapolis for about 20 years, the last several as an instructor in the master's program, teaching health information exchange, consumer health informatics, and the economics or the business of health informatics technology. About a year and a half ago, the three doctors, as students in the master's program, were introduced to Brian Williams, who is also the executive director of the Randolph County Community Caring Partnership. Randolph County Community Caring Partnership is a community health services organization that serves 20 counties in northern Missouri. They've received national contracts and recognition over 30 years, often focusing on addiction, particularly in schools and with youth, and also suicide prevention, among other areas and disciplines and contributions. About a year and a half ago, the three master's students were introduced to Brian Williams to explore ways in which health information technology can promote both improved service delivery and sustainability for community health service organizations like Randolph County. They completed their work and published a paper on that kind of technology, but it was more technology focused. Then in the spring of 2025, Dr. Chariot, Dr. Daniel Adepoju, Dr. George Adepoju took my class in consumer health information technology, focusing on the economics of consumer engagement and of healthcare broadly. They did some wonderful work in my class as well. After they graduated, they contacted me with Brian Williams to see if I would participate with them in a process of evaluating the economic environment for health information technology at that intersection of community health services organizations, those that focus on addiction, suicide prevention, social determinants of health, but are slightly on the fringe of the traditional healthcare hospital kind of network. We looked at a lot of different opportunities and kept coming back to the Opioid Settlement Agreement as a unique opportunity in this terribly challenging time. So in January of 2026, we formed our company, Essentrify, to bring technology solutions to that universe of people who are contracting with the National Opioid Settlement Program to help them meet the unique and challenging requirements of the Opioid Settlement Agreement. So while we are vendors of technology, our goal with this masterclass is to provide a foundational understanding of the opportunities and complexities of the Opioid Settlement Agreement. So as we conclude this introduction and as we then anticipate the lectures, the key question we want to leave you with is, what are we learning from all that money? And how will it affect prevention, treatment, and sustained recovery over the long term? Now, we are proud to offer a certificate of completion for those who participate in this. You don't have to participate. You don't have to earn the certificate. You can watch any of our videos, one, more, but there are in all 6 videos, 1 introductory and 5 lessons. If you watch all 6, and if you take our survey that we are now publishing, and I'll show you the link in a moment, and if you participate in the capstone webinar on April 16th, we will be honored to give you a certificate of completion, something that at least demonstrates for you that you have a foundational understanding of the complexity and opportunity presented by the Opioid Settlement Agreement. With respect to that national survey, you can take it at any time. Here's a QR code and the link to the survey. You can take it anytime you want. We suggest waiting till you've completed the 5 lessons. And it's not the survey is not a test. It's not a quiz. It's our effort to engage you, representing people across the nation, to gain some insight that we can publish and present at the webinar, about the nature and experience of people trying to manage and operate with and in the opioid settlement agreement. So thanks for watching this introductory video. Please proceed to Masterclass Lesson 1, the $57 billion opportunity and risk. Why opioid abatement must not repeat the tobacco failure. Thank you.